Kia ora everybody and welcome back to Wandering New Zealand. Today I am in Wellington, New Zealand's capital and I think only third biggest city, randomly. It's quite a weird thing that, isn't it? But that doesn't matter because today will be my first ever segment of Cheap As Wandering, where I wander around city to city, town to town, showing you what you can do for pretty much peanuts or chips. The price of some chips. Very expensive chips. So come on with me, we're going to go on a bit of a tour. Starting with Wellington Harbour. Still, I travelled like 100 metres to do that transition for absolutely no reason. In fact, this is a worse shot, but I can at least show you this Metlink boat that has several different departings during the day. They'll take you to Days Bay. Days Bay during the day. Oh dear. It's probably backwards, isn't it? Now, look online for terms and conditions and prices and stuff. Wait, no, I'm supposed to tell you the prices. Just hold on. So from here, they've got departings every hour, costing you $60, so it is the most expensive thing I'm going to recommend on this trip. But it's for a 75-minute boat journey. $25 for kids, I believe. I'm pretty sure it's also 75 minutes. I don't think they'll kick the kids off halfway through or anything. But if there's a steep price tag for you, and absolutely is, the harbour is still a beautiful place. Whether you just want to have a nice wander at night, which I highly recommend, it's one of my favourite things to do. Seeing the lights bounce off the water, it's something that's really magical to me. That mixed with that beautiful sea breeze. There's quite a few places in New Zealand you can get it, but this is one of them. So while you're here, I'd recommend that. And if that's not your thing, on the harbour there is a plethora. It's a big word for me. Plethora. There's a plethora. Now I can't say it. There are quite a lot of different places to eat and drink. Just all within a stone's throw from each other. It's insane. It's like you're in the middle of town, but you're on the harbour. If I got too drunk, I'm going to go for a swim. While also being just a normal, everyday working harbour, it's a great place for a lovely walk, covered in architecture, art, birds. It's really just a nice place to just walk or go for a jog, get your breath, get that fresh air. Lovely at night or day. I highly recommend it. And next up is the cable car. Wellington has a very famous cable car. I haven't actually been on it before, so this is a first for me, but about an $11 a ticket cost. I think that's pretty cheap as.
Kia ora koutou katoa. Nau mai, haere mai, ki te waka taura o Pōni. Current system opening in 1979, approaching Talavera Station and the passing loop of track splits into two. The cars have sets of double flange and flat wheels, always guiding car 1 through the south harbour loop to your left, and car 2 through the north to your right. We welcome you to visit the free Edinburgh Museum.
Top of the cable car, you get botanical gardens. I'm quite looking forward to this little walk around. As we all know, I love a good botanical garden or a domain. What? What? How far have I been walking? some stones. That's about right. Yeah, it's pretty Australian. Pretty bare. I'll call that accurate. Why is it always stairs? God, I hope this starts making me fitter. Oh. And look at this. This looks absolutely like just some unkept forest. Compared to Kapiti Island, this is insane. The track is just covered in exposed roots and rocks. There's some gravel, but certainly not enough to cover it. There's certainly more pine and leaves than there is gravel. It's gorgeous. Honestly, we need more of these just sitting around the place. What they see compared to what you see is just truly unbelievable. So at this point I'm going with, I probably shouldn't visit any more rose gardens until mid-spring at this point. Most of it is all... So I'm not going to say which one's better at this point. So I'm going to say this is my least favourite. Water feature is a great plus, but if you're here for the rose garden experience, you get thrown a bit by the cafe experience. If you're here for the cafe experience, the rose garden's going to give that a boost. So depends what you're here for. This place really gives the feel of a genuine bushwalk. Like an easy bushwalk. I love a good bushwalk. It's beautiful, it's quiet. You can hear the insects chirping, you can hear the birds. It's fantastic. And on top of that, there's also a proper botanical gardens. It still has all your different botanical garden areas. Your rose gardens, your more sensory flowers, aromatic flowers, a discovery area, a nice playground, some older buildings that have been around and are no longer able to be entered, places to eat both at the top and at the bottom. And it's on levels, which you don't get in Canterbury. I think I might do more garden wandering as I continue on this, because I'm just impressed. What more can I say? It's unbelievable. So yes, the Wellington Botanic Garden is a really beautiful place, especially early in the morning when it's really quiet. But where I am, I can hear cars. Most of the time I haven't been able to. I'd say more than anything, its array. I'd say what really gives it an extra plus over any gardens that are in Canterbury is its hilly terrain. It really puts it on another level. Alright, fine, on to the next place. And the next place on our Cheap Ads Wandering Tour is the Space Place. The next place is the Space Place. For a $9 entry fee, you get access to what is a pretty cool space-themed museum. And on top of that, for an extra $5, total of $14, you can see a space show. I just saw one about aliens, narrated by Rupert Grant. On the other side of that, so while sitting in the same place, I did a demonstration of all the stars in the sky, all the planets. It was actually pretty cool. While I wasn't ever generally a big fan of space, though that has been changing as I've been wandering around. Honestly, it's quite amazing how vast the cosmos is. But that's a discussion for another day. The Space Place is a really nice wee museum in tribute to space and space exploration. With quite a few cool wee cubby holes that you don't quite expect, like this library, and there's another theatre, a little games room for kids. There's a lot of stuff cramped into this small space place. Huh? Yeah, you see what I did there, and I'm not sorry. I'll never be sorry for a good pun.
Please select your flight mode.
Right. This is actually the most clever donation thing on the planet. And it's actually really clever. They also seem to do longer, more expensive presentations. Saw some viewing for Star Wars, some that are actually R18 rated. I'd love to go see one of those one day. With a bar, a cash bar, I think it is. That can cost up to $60, so a bit on the expensive side.
Goodness,
Wouldn't be doing it for cheap wandering. But I think $14 for a good wander around a museum and a show, definitely worth the cheap wander. And what would be the point in a trip up the cable car if you didn't check out the Cable Car Museum? Well, I can't say anything particularly mind-blowing or interesting. This is exactly what it says on the tin. It is the Cable Car Museum. It is a museum dedicated entirely to this one cable car line. Not every cable car, just this one. This one right here. But it's free. And it's a cute little visit. And if you're going to come all the way up here, you might as well look at it. Plus there's a nice little gift shop at the front, and who doesn't like a nice little gift shop? And if nothing else, just take in that view, take in that fresh air. Come in here on a good day, and it's going to be a good day. So I'd say next, if you were to come to Wellington, the most popular place for a tourist destination is the Te Papa Meseum. At a grand total of $0 and 0 cents, you can get a lot of sense into your head. No, that was terrible. I'll think of something else later. Come on. The Te Papa Meseum is just one of the greatest establishments in Wellington, if not New Zealand. It's just a massive building filled to the brim with New Zealand's history and culture. And it's all free, with the exception of the exhibitions that cost a little extra money, but are absolutely worth it, and gives you an extra reason just to come back here again and again. Now, Te Papa Meseum has, an echo, a total of 5 floors and this 6th floor, which is mainly just an outdoor area to catch your breath if you've been burnt out by all the people, which there are many, especially on a weekend. It was a bad idea for me to come here on a weekend. I really need to pick my days better, but otherwise, you come up here to get a bit of this. So from here we're going to head down because it's just easier to do. Let's go! I was here for about 3 hours because I was in a rush to get the rest of my filming done before I had to leave. And so I didn't get a chance to see everything and to strongly experience everything. But I'd say I got maybe a quarter of it on here on camera for you all to see. So even if you watch this, I recommend going there anyway, because it is better in person, especially the things you can touch, or smell, or just get the vibe from. And I left a lot of the best stuff out of this, because it's always good to have a surprise. They also have this large outdoor exploring area, kind of like a small tramp, but completely safe. You don't have to worry about wilderness things because it's a museum. Come on, let's go. No, don't pout. Come on. You need the exercise. All this, and I'm somehow still in a museum. I don't get it, but it's great. Another one of the most iconic Wellington destinations on a budget, Cuba Street. You could spend a lot of money here if you wanted to, but for just the attraction, it's absolutely free. About 200 to 300 meters of pedestrian only walking through the center of town. Let's go take a look. Come on. We'll rest later. Come on. Well, Cuba Street isn't the biggest place in Wellington, and probably on camera doesn't seem that great, just a bunch of shops on the street. It is the entire culture of the centre of Wellington packed into one street. You can just feel the vibe. It's just a lovely experience on a good day. And again, it's free unless your eyes are bigger than your wallet. Then you might end up spending a bit of money. But if you look hard enough, you might just find something that you're interested in. For example, I found my favourite shop of all time. Found it completely by accident, blown away, and in some ways I find it to be better than Armageddon. But that's just for me. Everyone's got different preferences, obviously. Not everyone's a complete nerd like me. So, from Te Papa Meseum, Cuba Street, cable car ride, Botanic Garden, what was the other thing? The cable car museum and the space place for a grand total of $25. I think that's pretty cheap. That is some cheap wandering. So I'll leave that for now. If you want more, like and subscribe and comment. Let me know where you would like to see ideas for cheap places to go to. Ideas for cheap places to go to. And until then, bye.